On today's show, Barb and I are going to make a pork roast. We're going to fry it up in some butter and then we're going to bake it in the oven. This is going to be one of our delicious meals you can make fairly easy. You just throw it in the oven and let it cook. We're also going to use some almond flour to make some gravy and some mashed potatoes, as well as we're going to be revitalizing some beans left over from yesterday. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Hey Barb, what's the question of the day?
Do you like mashed potatoes? If you like mashed potatoes, click the thumbs up.
We're going to start out with our pork roast. I put salt and pepper on it and I left it to sit overnight in the refrigerator. Now, I need to throw some butter in this pan, get the butter melting. Nice and hot pan. Then I'm going to put the pork roast in and I'm going to brown up the pork roast in the butter for just a few minutes, just to kind of brown up the pork roast. My butter is melted. Now I'm going to put in my pork roast. Nice and carefully. Try not to splash. I'm just moving it around so that it'll get all full of the butter. Get it all browned up. Doesn't take but just a couple minutes to brown this up. So for the beans, I'm going to revitalize yesterday's green beans. It's all done. I've turned off the fire. Let me pull that off with some gloves. And I'm just going to set it on the counter. You have to be careful you don't knock it off these little stoves. Then I just have some water ready to go. So you get it filled about halfway up. Then I have some paprika. And remember, I've already salt and peppered this. So just sprinkle some paprika on there. And then we're going to put this in the oven. The oven is preheating already. If you'd like all the measurements and temperatures and things like that, hit that subscribe button right down there. You'll see the more button, and that's where all the information for the recipe will be listed. Now it'll probably be about 3 hours. I set my lid on the pan, but I put it on vent so that it will vent. The pork roast is almost done, so we need to get started on our mashed potatoes. So I have equal amounts of mashed potatoes and water. I'm using this hot gas-fired, and it'll fire right up. So now while that's going, I can go ahead and go pull this out because it needs to cool. I need to make my gravy. Wow, is this hot. Of course, you want to put it on a cooling tray if you need to. This is concrete countertop. It won't be a problem. My water is boiling for my mashed potatoes. That goes pretty fast. So there's my potatoes and some milk. By the way, these measurements are all down there where it says the subscribe button. You'll see where it says more. All the ingredients and measurements and everything will be there. Put that back in the refrigerator so it stays cold. Now, I'm not making my full mashed potato recipe like I normally do, where I do the cream cheese and all that kind of stuff, because I have gravy, so I don't need to do all that. Ooh, this is hot. Okay. Let's get this stirred. Okay, there we go. Let's let this sit for a minute. And let's try to do this pork roast. Like I said, you're gonna need a spatula too. This is going to just be so tender, so fall off the bone tender. There we go. Wow. Look at that. That is great. We gotta let that cool for just a little bit. Now, I have in my juice, I have some almond flour. Okay, and I'm just going to put some almond flour in here to start. Alright, our gravy looks good. It's pretty fast and easy. Maybe a little bit more. And of course, if this gets too thick, you can put in some water. I'm using almond flour. Should be better for you than white flour. There you go, now it looks better. You don't want your gravy to be oily or buttery. Remember, there was a complete stick of butter in this. Yeah, there we go, that's fantastic. Okay, now I have the beans scooped out already. Now I can go ahead and get this in my gravy boat. Okay, there we go. Now let's get some mashed potatoes on the plate. Oh, just like this. They'll come off the spatula. I'll make a little indentation and put some of the gravy on it. Just like that. And then we have the dish and the meat to cut up here. Need a knife. There we go. Wow. Take a look at that. This is just fall apart right off the bone, if there was one. Okay, wow. Maybe one more. It smells so good. Fantastic. Wow. Okay, roll this over here. Maybe a little bit more gravy on top, just like that. That's pretty exciting. And here we go. If you folks like making shows for cooking or watching shows, or you just like to cook along, I have a whole bunch more recipes right here.